Ooh, yo my people, man. Welcome to another video from Nero Talks. Do you know what I'm saying? Cool. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how I leverage and manage my trade in options.
I'm Nero. Talks on money.
Obviously, not a lot of people trade options. Me, when I started trading, it was just something I was interested in. I could have chose Forex, I could have chose, what's the other one, futures, but I kind of wanted to fast forward in it, do you know what I'm saying? Because most of the stories I hear from people taking long to get profitable is they keep jumping from strategy to strategy to strategy. So me, I decided to pick one, learn from it, put my all in it, and that's it. You get what I'm saying? So in this video, we're going to talk about how I leverage and manage my trades in options. So cool, options is already a highly leveraged instrument. So cool. When I say, for example, let's say I see a trade, I see my opening, I leverage £2,000. Now cool, that doesn't mean I'm risking £2,000. That's just what I'm leveraging. Because the more money I leverage, the more money I get. For example, 10% of 2,000 is £200. 20% of 2,000 is £400, and so on, so on, so on. So the more you leverage, the more you can kind of get for your return. So yeah, I'm saying, so cool. I see a trade, I enter, I leverage £2,000. For that trade, my risk would be around £200 for me to make £400. So that's a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Remember, that's what I'm leveraging. I'm only risking 10% of that. So I'll put my stop there, or depending on where I enter, that's where my stop will be, but it should never be more than 10 to 15%. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the leveraging side. So cool, now I get into a trade. This is where it gets juicy. This is where you get the bang for your buck. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've entered into a trade now. £2,000 capital. I'm in my trade. It's going my way. We're about 10. We're going to keep it easy. Normally, I take my first trims at 10 to 15%. So around them times, depending on how the trade is moving. So cool, let's just go 10% because that's easier for you guys to understand. Cool. I'm going to sell, depending on how the trade goes, 25% or 50% of my position. But cool, we're going to say I sell 25%. No, we're going to make it easier actually. We're going to say I sold 50% of my position. So 50% of 2,000 is £1,000. Remember that. So cool. I've hit 10% and I've sold 50% of my position. So that means I've sold £1,000 worth of my position. 10% of 1,000 is £100. So cool, that's the first step. So now I've made £100 essentially. So I've made £100 and I've still got £1,000 left in my trade. Now after I've made that £100 or that 10%, I'm going to put my stop to break even so I don't turn a winning trade into a losing trade. Do you get what I'm saying? So now we go into the next step. And the next step is, now I'm aiming for 20%. So when we get to the 20% now, I'm going to take second trims. So remember, I've got £1,000 left. Now I'm going to take 50% off of that position that I've got now. So cool, 50% of what? 1,000 is £500. 20% of £500 is £100. So cool, now essentially, I've sold 75% of my position and I'm about £200 up. Yeah, I'm about £200 up and I've got £500 left in my trade. Yeah, I've got £500 left in my trade. So now this is where it gets even more juicy. 20%. Now I'm aiming for 30% plus, depending on how the market's moving, depending on how SPY is moving. So do you know what I'm saying? So cool, I've got £500 left. Let's say it hits 30% and I said, you know what, I'm going to take my last trims. Or I might not even take my last trims. I'm at 25% now. But cool, just to say for easier scenario, I take off the last £500 at 30%. £500 I mean, 30% of £500 is 150. So now I've trimmed 3 times, but I've made more money on the £500 than I've made on the £1,000. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get why I kind of trim like that? Because every single time I trim, I'm risking less to make more. Now, cool, there is a downside to this. It depletes my risk to reward ratio by a lot. Kind of a lot. It's a lot, I won't lie to you, but I prefer it because I'm risking. Overall, my trades on overall a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio anyway. So any trade, like, naturally is normally it's a 1 to 2 for me. Normally, even by doing that, it would still, the total of that trade would be a 1 to 2. But essentially, while I'm in that trade and how I manage that trade is every single time I'm taking trims, I'm risking less to make more. And to be honest, bro, I think that's wonderful. Like, I think that's amazing to be able to risk less and make more. That's kind of what trading is about, kind of, if you deep it. Do you know what I'm saying? Preserving capital. Now, this is why I trade at that in options, because options is so special and so highly leveraged. It's amazing. So cool, let's say now I've left my last £500. Let's say I want to hold it till end of day. Remember, that could go past 30%. I could get 50%. I could get 100%. I might want to hold that until overnight. I could get a 500% return. Options is that kind of volatile. Do you get what I'm saying? But I've took off most of my contracts at a 1 to 2. But now I've left the runners. Remember, my last 500 is my runner for it to aim for 30% plus. And that's the beauty about it, because from that £500, let's say that trade turns in, let's say by end of day now, I'm 50%. 50% of £500 is £250. That's amazing. That means I would have made £250 plus the 200 that I made. That would have been a £500 trade. That is amazing. While lowering my risk to make more. So that's kind of the way how I manage and leverage my trades. And I can't lie, I enjoy it. I yet have though, and I can't wait for that time. I'm going to show you. When I hit a beautiful trade like that, I'm going to show you guys, and you're going to be able to understand the beauty of it. Do you get what I'm saying? The beauty of holding a swing overnight, getting 100% return on your money is so, it can happen, but obviously you have to go with the trend of the trade. Trade has to be, the market has to be doing whatever. But that's the beauty of it. So yeah, man, if you are here till the end of this video, I appreciate that. You guys have showed man love. I appreciate that. It means you're rocking with me. Just follow, like, subscribe and share, man. Obviously, if you want to see more videos like this, let me know. Next week I'm going to be uploading some trading videos. Obviously it's the weekend now. I'm just going to chill, whatever, do some reading, you know, write some content. Follow my TikTok at Nero Invest. Follow my Instagram at Nero Talks. Let's get this popping, man. So yeah, if you enjoyed that and you want to see more videos on stuff like this, just let me know. Cheers.